Hi, this is Clay Mabbitt from Sold Out Run. I've talked before on the blog about how powerful Facebook event pages are and why they're the absolute best way to leverage your Facebook contacts to promote your show. But Facebook can be a little confusing with so many different variables and the fact that they change things all the time. So I've created a screencast where I walk you through creating a Facebook event page. Let's get started. Right now we're looking at the Sold Out Run Facebook page that I just created a little earlier. You have a choice when you're creating a Facebook event. You can create it as an individual, or you can create it as a page. And the page that you would probably use for this would be the page for the production company or the venue for the show that you're putting on. I recommend doing that, the page as opposed to the individual. It will work either way. Certainly don't let that stop you. But I like the page option because you can go back and review previous events. Maybe you need to copy some information that was in there or look up some of the activity that was going on the wall with people sharing and talking about it. It's a lot easier if all of that information is kept together in one place. And if you have individuals doing it, it's likely going to be different individuals for each show, and things get a little more spread out and hard to track down. But with that being said, let's go ahead and create an event. If you are doing it from a page, then the easiest place to get started is to scroll down from the page and here the status box where you're adding status updates. You also have the option of doing a photo video or an event milestone. I'm going to click that button and we have question milestone event. Let's go ahead and look at events for our purposes here today. Let's create a show called They Came From Above. And the details of the show, here's where you could enter a plot synopsis or the dates of the run. If there's weird parking information where you're performing, go ahead and put that in. I'll just copy and paste some stuff I had from the clipboard. Then you can enter where, the location, and Facebook will of course try to autocomplete with information, locations that are in Facebook. You can select one of those if your location is in Facebook, but also if you have a place that isn't registered in Facebook, you can just use whatever you're typing in. And the advantage to doing Facebook locations is that there's a little map embedded in the event, and I'll show you what that looks like when we get to the event page. But for now, let's keep Greene County Theater, the fictional venue that I made up. You can also enter a link to where people can buy tickets. And I'll just put in a made-up URL. That won't actually go anywhere, but this is where you would enter the real link for somebody to buy tickets online. And of course, you need to specify when your show is running. And let's say it starts May 1st at 8 p.m. and the end time will be May 18th at 11 p.m. You have a choice when you're creating these. You can create a single event for the entire run, like I've done here. You could create a separate event for each night, each performance of the show. I don't recommend that. I think it isn't worth the additional administrative cost that creates to you of, when you're posting a rehearsal photo, doing a copy of that in each event page for each night of the show. But perhaps more importantly, social proof is very powerful, and it's one of the advantages of using Facebook. So if you have a single event page for the entire run, and you invite people to that, when people say yes, it all shows up in one place. So you may only have 10 or 20 people saying that they're attending through Facebook anyway for each performance. But because you've grouped that all together in a single event, suddenly when people visit your Facebook page, there's a couple hundred people that have RSVP'd, yes, they're attending through Facebook. So that's a much more powerful element of social proof to encourage people to come to the show. So I definitely recommend keeping it all, the entire run, as a single event. Lastly, there's a checkbox here. Only admins can post to the event wall. Leave that blank. If you did check it, that would stop people who came to the page from posting things to the site, asking questions or how can I get tickets because they weren't paying attention to the link up above or whatever that is. But you want that engagement. You want people to be able to post things. So let's go ahead and click the create button. Now we have an event created. It has the dates of the run that we entered, the link to buy tickets, the location, the details. It's all there, but it looks a little bland. So we need to dress this up a little bit. But one of the first things that I want to show you is how to add in additional administrators for an event. And Facebook calls event administrators hosts. So there's a button here with a gear and an arrow. If you click on that, some options come up. The second one is Edit Hosts. This is where you can enter the names of additional people to be able to edit the event. Since this was created from the Sold Out Run page, Sold Out Run is automatically a host. That also means that everyone who is an administrator of the Sold Out Run page is automatically a host for this event. So if you already have administrators, you're set. But you may want other people to be able to edit the event that are not administrators for your page, and you can just enter their names here. And if you are connected to them in Facebook, either by being their friends or some connection like that, Facebook will let you enter their names. I also mentioned that I would show you what it looks like when you select an actual Facebook location as your venue. So let's go ahead and edit the event. And instead of Greene County Theater, holding to that, what if we had typed in, and let's see, we have here the Shawnee Summer Theater of Greene County. Since I live in Indianapolis, Facebook is trying to find the closest theater to me that it can with the words Greene County in them. So we'll go ahead and select this. I don't know anything about the Shawnee Summer Theater of Greene County, but I suspect they are wonderful, and I appreciate them lending their name to this video here. So let's save that. And now when you look at the event, there's a link here, and you can view the map, get directions. So it's just a little more powerful. It's a nice upgrade if you do have a venue that is on Facebook. So we're going to be making updates to this Facebook event, and it's going to show up in people's news feed. And at this point, you may be wondering what image is going to appear for the event. So if we click Page Events here, this goes back to all the Sold Out Run events. You'll notice it's just the Sold Out Run logo. This is the avatar for Sold Out Run. That might be okay, but we can do better. We can give a custom image for this. So let's go to the event again. And there's a button up here to add an event photo. So let's click on that. And I happen to have a photo prepared that we can upload. And you can reposition it if the image is larger than the available space. It just so happens that I've created this to be exactly the right size, so we can just save changes. So now, one, we have this nice image at the top of the event page, but also when we go to the page events, there's an image there, but the words are cut off. So what we had at the top of the event page is this kind of long rectangle, but the image space that we have available that's going to show up in the news feed for updates is a square. So we really need to have a second image that is formatted as a square. Fortunately, it's very easy to do that. So again, going back to this gear button with the arrow, the third option is Add Event Photo. And it's confusing because it's the exact same wording that was used for the banner image at the top of the page. Both say Event Photo, and really these are two different photos. But I have a square prepared. And it's uploaded. So now when we go back to page events, it is the second image that's been formatted for all of the words to fit. So we now have all of the images. You can see here how it looks as the banner, and then over here to the right where Facebook is urging me to promote the event as a paid service, you can see what the image will look like when it's in a news feed as a square. Now that our event page is starting to look a little more loved and cared for, it's time to invite other people to see it. But before we can do that, Facebook wants us to respond with whether or not we are attending the show. So there are blue buttons here right below the large image that say join, and maybe join is just a way of saying yes. But I'll go ahead and click that. And now there's two changes that you'll notice. One, there's an invite friends button available to me, but also over here in the left column, you can see one attendee, Clay Mabbitt, and I am going to this event. As you invite more people, they will show up in the left column here, and it will say they'll be grouped by people that are going, maybe not going, or have not responded. And of course, the power of Facebook events is that people who are invited, as long as they have not said, no, they're definitely not coming, they will see the updates that you're pushing. So even if they don't respond at all, then the rehearsal photos that you post on this page, the status updates that you post to the event page will show up in their newsfeed. Very powerful. So let's invite some people to this show. We'll click the Invite Friends button. This pulls up a list of all of my contacts in Facebook, and I could check all of them right here,
but that would be obnoxious. Some of them live hours away. Some of them just aren't, they couldn't come to this show, so it doesn't make sense to invite them. Fortunately, this drop-down box here lets me filter the list a little bit. I can look at just people in Indianapolis, because that's where this show is going to be held, and check boxes here next to the people I want to invite. I can go to my family and check those names off, and the check boxes will be remembered as you bounce back and forth between these. I can also just type in names of people that I know I want to invite, but do all of those things. And then when you click the save button here down in the corner, Facebook will invite all of the people whose names you've checked. I'm not going to do that here because this is a fake event and I don't want to send an invitation to all these people. But when you click save, that will all happen. And then over here in the left column, their names would show up in whatever category they're in as far as whether or not they've RSVP'd yet. And the last thing I'll mention is the option to promote your event over here in the right column that Facebook has. I don't want to go into too much detail about this other than to say it is a paid option, although it's a fairly inexpensive one. And you can send a promotion that will show up in the sidebar for people or will show up as a suggested post in their main news feed. And you can filter that by people that live in certain geographic areas. Obviously, you want to filter to the people that could come to your show. So I would filter to Indianapolis and the surrounding areas. You can filter by age and gender and activities that people are interested in. If this show is about aliens, then maybe I would look for people that have interests in things about aliens. If there is interest in that, I might do another screencast here that talks specifically about promoting your post. But for now, just know that it's something that you could explore, and it costs a little bit of money, although it is fairly inexpensive. So with that, you now have an event, and you are ready to push it around on Facebook, and you have a home to upload all of the updates about your show.
Now that you have an event page, you have a place to put all the photos, videos, and clever status updates you're using to promote your show online. Not sure what kind of content you're going to be putting there? Well, you'll find some great ideas over at the Sold Out Run Facebook page. Just head to facebook.com/soldoutrun. Click the like button, and when you hold your mouse over the like button, one of the options that shows up is Get Notifications. Make sure that's checked so that you get all of the updates from Sold Out Run in your Facebook newsfeed. Happy promoting!